Welcome back. It's been a long break for us at the Shooters Roll, but we're back. I got my boy RJ in the house. How are you, RJ?
Yeah, pretty good team, man. It's been a long time coming, eh?
Yeah, yeah. I guess when you think about running a show like this, it takes a lot of effort and hard work. So we do this part time and we jump on, talk a ball all we can, but we still got to support ourselves with our full time jobs.
Absolutely, absolutely. You got it.
Yeah, so yeah, we do this for the love. So if you like our content, subscribe, like, and discuss. Like that's what we're here for. We just want to connect with like-minded people out there. All right, so today's show we're just gonna talk about the NBA, like update from what we did last time. So as RJ and myself are Laker fans this year, probably RJ is more of a Laker fan than I am, but we want to discuss the Lakers, right? So let's talk about it. Right? Today they play Golden State. Let's bookmark that. Before that, they lost 4 games in a row. AD's out. Dennis Schroeder was out, and the whole narrative in the NBA is the Lakers were on downfall. It's the end of the world. Two things. First thing, Lakers end of the world. Second thing, LeBron can't win by himself. How many superstars does he need? And it, it's basically halfway in the season. This is the time where champions get bored. RJ, thoughts on those topics?
Look, whether he's in LA, Cleveland, or Miami, LeBron teams always go through a slump. Normally, it's either just before the All-Star break or normally just after the All-Star break. And I think it's just because, whether they have their stars back or not, I think they do kind of get bored. But this is not the end of the world. I mean, he does have his men started, Davis down, Schroeder down, but he'll pick up his game again. Like well, I don't worry about this stuff. This is minor. There's bigger problems in the world than this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? This is not a big deal at all. So you'll see. Once they go through a 4-game slump, they'll probably win 10 straight, and then 1 or 2 losses. Then they go back on that streak again. So for me, that's nothing. I've seen this trend over and over again. I mean, if you're just tuning to the NBA recently, you'd probably think that, but I've seen this trend with LeBron's teams all the time, and no, it's no biggie. This is just a hump in the road, and they'll get past it. So yeah, they'll pick it up. I don't worry about the Lakers. Once AD's back and Schroeder's back, they'll start getting it together. They'll probably amp up Montrez's time. I reckon he'll jump up to about 20 minutes a game. And I think Caruso will have to probably pick up his game too. So, it's not a big deal. I mean, and mind you, LeBron or any superstar for that matter do need help. Okay,
Of course,
you think
of course,
about
yeah. Yep.
LeBron needed money. Okay, Kareem or Magic needed each other. I mean, they all need a duo at least. So you can't just say a 36-year-old LeBron do need players. Everyone needs players.
Of course,
So,
of course.
I mean, and if they need to sort of pick up players, if they need to, especially with the injuries, they're going to have to do it. I mean, that's just part of the game. I mean, let's just not hate on the guy because he's supposed to be the GOAT, but he can do it by himself. Let's just not forget what Cleveland team he took to the finals versus Golden State. I mean, that team was just LeBron and a potato chips. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, and but yeah, he may have lost, but the guy took that team. So it tells you he does need other players, with him.
Yeah, definitely. Let's fast forward to today's game. They played Golden State, pretty much blowout win, and then apparently everything's good in LA again. This is narrative, right? If you're the champion from last year and then you get more help, like I think it sells views. It sells views. People want to read about this stuff, like the Lakers end of the world, LeBron. Like there's a statistic that I saw that LeBron's like the top 10 hated or like a negativity tweets or any social media out there. It's just because he's a good player. Like if you're not getting tweeted or you're not getting hate, then I guess you're not doing your job. You're not good. In many circumstances. So yeah. So today they play Golden State. I watched part of that game. I thought they played really well. They're definitely with Dennis back. they definitely needed that pickup. Just his speed alone. Like, he can guard Curry. He can guard, like, you think about the NBA and how they've lost a lot of games to speedy point guards. Like, LeBron's chasing him down. Like, Dame Lillard, he beat him the other day. But you can't have him doing all the work. That's
Exactly,
what I felt
exactly.
like. Because you see LA's in this situation, and everyone's like, oh, like, LeBron has a different standard. It's like about him. Oh, he needs more help. But if you look at the top teams like Utah and stuff, imagine they had two starters out. And if they have two starters out, everyone be like, okay, cool. It's two starters out, right? But because it's LA, like, because they're
City.
primed to win it. They're primed to win it. They're favorites. And it's LeBron and all the narrative, right? They're all talking about the narrative. Yeah. So early season, I guess, or half season thoughts about the Lakers. Pau Gasol, center position. Are you happy with what they have? Do you think that we should make some signings? What are your thoughts, RJ?
I think they probably need one or two more signings. I think they look kind of old on the floor at times. I think they need more energy. So I think they sort of need one or two young guys to sort of bring a bit of run and gun back in LA. I just think that their style of play, they do kind of look old. That's all I gotta say. And I'm like, they need legs. They need young legs. What do you think, T?
Yeah, they signed Damien Jones. Like, he played for Golden State and he played for Phoenix recently. So they just signed him to a 10-day contract. Today was his first day. I'm looking at his stats. He was 3 from 3, probably garbage minutes. I didn't watch the fourth quarter. So that's good. Like, he actually got on the court. Like, I was afraid the Lakers would just got him because they waived Quinn Cook. They needed that 14th roster spot as the NBA specifies that you need 14 players. You can't have 13 players for so long. So, like, I thought they were just signing for that, but they played him. I don't rate him, but in terms of, that's why he's available, right? He's a big guy.
That's right.
You can throw lobs to him. Defensively, he'll be hit and miss. Like, if he was a good player, the Phoenix would have kept him, right? And the Golden State would have kept him. So for what he's worth, I think his energy, like, you hit it on the head, the nail on the head. This is the time where we need some young guys, to kind of push you through, like, play a lot of minutes, win or lose. Like you want to be in the game, like, within 10 points, and then you put your starters on in the last couple of minutes and see if you can win it. Right? Every game that you can win now is great, but if you lose, it's not the end of the world. So
Sure.
yeah, so I think they probably still away, like, another center away. If Damien doesn't work out, there's a voice, or there's a player at the moment, Boogie Cousins. Like, I think that he doesn't fit into their system anymore. Okay, he was a superstar like 3 seasons ago. He's had 2 major injuries. I don't think he's a good fit, like, as a locker room guy, because rumors out of Houston was he really liked his time there, but he didn't want to go back to backing up Christian Wood. If Christian Wood's come back, and then so the Rockets did the right by him. They signed him. They guaranteed his contract of $2.6 million, and now he can move on to any other team he wants. So. But the rumor around that was Boogie wasn't happy. Like he didn't want to play second fiddle, right? Like, he's been like 2 seasons removed from being an All-Star, 3 seasons from being an All-Star. So I think he's still hanging on to that status. I feel that he has to adapt. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna pay him max money unless he gets the time, and no one's gonna give him the opportunity. Like, you think about younger teams. A lot of teams, they're like, okay, cool, I'm going with my young guys. I want to lose. I want to get top pick.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on DeMarcus? Good signing? Should we sign him, or is he better off not signing him?
Well, you're right in that. I think he's hanging on to his peak times with Sacramento when he was, like, pretty much the next upcoming center. But I just thought he had a good attitude at the beginning of the season because he really wanted to play with John Wall, his former college teammate. But for some reason, I knew that I don't think that attitude was going to carry on for 72 games of the season. I knew that was too good, and I think to myself, will he stick by that long? Like, I mean, he's a former shadow of himself. I can see he's getting there, but he just needs time. But I don't think he'll be suitable. But I just think that his current attitude with certain things is not great at the moment. I think it just needs to change his attitude, because at the beginning of the season with Houston, he was really good. He was like, well, I'm here to play, I'm here to win. I was happy to hear play with and I'm sure he got he got peanuts, 2.6 mil. But he knows that not many teams are going to give him the opportunity. And I think that's sort of gone past his radar now, which I think he shouldn't have been. It should continue to be with him, because he knows that he can't be the way he was before, and not a lot of teams are out there scouting for him. So to sign in LA, I don't know. I don't think that would be a good move, to be honest with you. I think, to be honest, DeMarcus, I think eventually, I don't want to say this, I still want to see him in the NBA, but I think he may end up playing in China. I don't think anyone's going to be signing him soon.
Yeah, that's it's sad reality of it, right? Like he had opportunity, he had opportunity to sign for two for 40 mil, but he bet on himself. And I'm pretty sure because of what happened to him, like Draymond and a couple other players out there decided to take the money rather than bet on themselves, right? Because one injury away, and especially this day and age, like in the NBA, there's much more injuries than we had in the old days, because the game speed is so quick. There's no slowdown anymore. Okay, so you don't think he's a good signing? Okay, let's just move on to the next guy I want to talk about. Is Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. Like, they're the same. Like, I think Griffin probably in the same boat as DeMarcus. But in terms of his game, he's like he can. If we get him for minimum, if the Lakers can get him for minimum, he can be a vet and just play his role. Like, I see it as David West, like when he played for I see Blake is kind of like understand that he's not the superstar anymore. He doesn't have the lift in his legs. Like you see him on open break now, he's just barely laying it up, which is quite it's quite sad. Like seeing him do sand dunes in his rookie year and just jumping over cars, jumping over people, dunking on people, posterizing. So I personally think he could fit in if the Lakers will use him just for the rest of the season. In the playoffs, they'll probably do nothing. They'll probably release him, whatever. But in terms of just keep him afloat. And then Andre Drummond, he can be the interior defensive guy. He can be Dwight. He can be McGee. He definitely can, but he has to be in that frame of mind. Like, okay, I'm just gonna be the guy off the bench. I'm going to play 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I'm going to give him whatever they want me to do. Like he probably still, out of all the players we mentioned, he probably still has the skill set to be that low post presence, but no one's asking him to do that more. The game has changed. We basically want 3-point shooters, and we want one defensive specialist. That's pretty much it. Your thoughts on those two guys, Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin?
I think for LA, Drummond would probably be a good pickup, because he can be a defensive presence inside. He can catch lobs. He can clean up the scraps as well. I mean, he's a guaranteed double on a night. You know what I mean? So I think he would be a great pickup. He's not asked to shoot mid range or to do anything spectacular. I mean, if you're going to pick up that, I think he would be a good pickup out of all things. And I think you would get him for cheaply. With Griffin, it is sad to see, because according to the stats, he hasn't dunked in a year. And I'm just thinking to myself, shit, that must be really bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know exactly what his injury is, but his injury must be really bad for him not to dunk. And he's like 6'8", 6'9". So, to have that sort of lift removed from your game. I mean, the guy's evolved, don't get me wrong. He's great. He's a great shooter now.
Yeah, 3-point shooter, definitely.
Yeah. So he's done well, but, to remove that altogether, I mean, that's just bad. I mean, have you ever seen a superstar, apart from the guys who had major injuries like Derrick Rose, who used to be dunkers and who used to be leapers, all of a sudden not jump at all, not even to have a simple dunk? I mean, it's quite sad. It's like the evolution of the player. It's taken one phase of the game away, and it's really sad to see. So,
there's this clip where he was playing for Team USA, and like he threw it against the wall, and then he grabbed it and he dunked it, right? And in the crowd, you had all the young guys, the young guys are now NBA stars like Devin Booker and all those guys, and you're like, damn, like those guys were like the pups. And then you see Blake Griffin, all these guys have stepped up and they're like MVP, all-star players. That's right. And Blake Griffin's gone down. Like, it's just sad. It's sad as a Blake Griffin fan and seeing the way he trained. So you agree with me on those signs. Okay, cool. Cool. Did you think that LA needs anything else other than bigs? Like I'm pretty happy with our wings. With one wing, if we can get rid of Wesley Matthews,
Ooh.
and then replace him with PJ Tucker, 6'8". He's bigger, right? Because I'm watching it now when Wesley Matthews is playing against LA Clippers, and anyone with a big wing, like he's there in position, but the guys that he's guarding, like Kawhi and PG13, they know that he's going to be there positionally, but they can out jump him. You post up, they out jump him every time, and you can see that. Even with Luka Doncic, like when he's guarding Luka Doncic, Luka's like beat him off dribble, and then he fades away, shoots over top of him because he's a little bit small, right? If somehow LA can get PJ Tucker, I know PJ Tucker's older, but we're just thinking about this year, because I'm pretty sure Wesley Matthews is not the part of the future. He's just plug-in, right? A plug-in for Green from last year,
True.
3-point shooter, defense, right? So it's kind of I guess a Hail Mary if we can get him. But there's rumors been going around about that. But I think if PJ gets in, LeBron's going to find him for threes. Like he finds the shooters, right? And then PJ Tucker will play out of his mind to have an opportunity to win a championship. And defensively, that's his job. Your thoughts on PJ Tucker and any wings that you think that we should sign?
You're actually right in what you just said. He's an upgrade of what a Wesley Matthews now. So he's a bit taller. He's about a 6'7", 6'8" guy who's a good perimeter defender. And what he doesn't have over PJ is leverage. So if he's got leverage with other guys who are offensively minded, like PG13 and Kawhi, you're correct. You're actually right. You would actually, go toe to toe with him on an even scale. So no, you're right. Actually, you're right. They should actually get PJ. He's a good experienced defender. I don't think there's any minus about him for me. Like he shoots the ball well.
He's a solid guy.
Exactly, a good solid guy. So I think you're good. You're exactly correct in what you said. So
because you could think last year, like he was playing center because like the Rockets were committed to small ball, right? They got Westbrook and then they got Harden. He was playing center. So for him to play power forward or small forward, he'll love it. He just has to do his job. Like he will make you work. Like Matthews will make you work. But if I was playing against Matthews and I had the skill set of Kawhi, I'd be like, okay, cool. You can stop me down here, but you can't stop me when I elevate. But with PJ, you're like, okay, cool. He's really he's a bulky guy. He'll fight you. And
he
then
can bang up with you. Yeah, he's got the leverage.
And then he'll get his hand in your face, like a bit like Shane Battier. Going back to old school people who follow Shane Battier. You know what I mean? A solid guy, shoots threes, good defense. He's just getting a bit older. So, and like yourself, he loves his shoes, man. So you guys have a lot in common.
I'll vote for him.
In the bubble, so facts is, I think he bought like close to 60 to 100 shoes in the bubble. So he didn't have enough room in his hotel room. But shoe lovers like yourself, you guys will understand.
Oh, I understand. He's trying to promote it too. He's trying to get a shoe contract, and also promote other sneakers. So, hey man, I'll vote for him. No problem. He's actually a good pickup if they get him.
Cool. And the Lakers cutting Quinn Cook. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they just had to do what they had to do. You can tell he was a good bench guy. He was there. He was very supportive, and he really fit well with the team. But unfortunately, with certain teams, it is a business, and you have to make decisions. And I think LA had to do what they had to do and had to cut off Quinn Cook. It's a shame. I mean, it's a shame. Like with other losses of this year with the Lakers, which I thought they should have kept, but you have to do what you have to do for the business, and I think they made the right move. So
Quinn Cook came into the scene, I guess, when Steph Curry got injured a couple of years ago, and then he came on and he won a couple of games for them. They went through, they won the championship. I think for LA last year he had moments that were great, and then this year they cut him at the beginning of the season, right? And then they re-signed him because there was a clause they could re-sign him just to get the minimum, right? But I don't think this year that they gave him the opportunity to shine. Like he was a garbage time, and then you got all the young guys trying to make their mark. Kuzma, Horton Tucker, and those guys were dominating the ball, right? So
that's right.
it's just a situation where they didn't need that point guard anymore because they didn't shooter. They had LeBron. They didn't need him, and he didn't have the opportunity to shine. So I guess
That's right.
it says an impact. Like he didn't have the impact. Like I felt like when he's on the court, I wanted him to go well, but it was like you shouldn't have to want an NBA player to go well. He should, if he's properly set up or like he should be shooting threes off the bench like as he was in Golden State. It basically just doesn't. It just didn't happen. It's a bit sad because he's a Laker fan. His dad played there. Like he's a big Kobe Bryant fan. You basically see the moments where Kobe passed and he was with the fans and he was crying. So that kind of made it. It kind of solidifies his legacy as a Laker. But just on court, it just didn't match up. So it's sad that it's gone. Hopefully he can pick up a contract somewhere else.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah, hopefully somewhere else where he actually gets to play.
True.
All right. So for the Lakers, how about Marc Gasol? Would you keep him around? I feel like they're better off. I know Mark brings 3-point shooting, positional defense at times, but I find that it's just a layup line like for the other team. Like they're not scared of Marc Gasol. They're like if they get 1-on-1 with him or they beat their man, they're like Mark's not gonna go and block your shot. Like he might get charged, but he's getting there too late. Like I feel like he's in cement, and this is what frustrates me, right? Because it frustrates me. Like I know we talked about all the signings, but you have Dwight there. You have Dwight there. No one's gonna shoot a layup on Dwight. Dwight's gonna challenge you. He's gonna foul you, but it's not gonna give you a free layup. It's not gonna give you a free layup,
or
right?
Even JaVale.
Yeah, JaVale. The issue with JaVale was he's $4 million. That's why they shipped him out, right? But Dwight was like 2.5. That's what he needed. He signed for that much in Philly. I don't understand Lakers management, but not signing Dwight. Like, or the story was they left him waiting too long, and then Embiid called him. Yeah, and then he felt insecure, right? Because because he tweeted. Yeah, we talked about that before. He tweeted, and so be it. But at the same time, the Lakers made a mistake. That's what I think. And
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so.
But they rectified with some of the signings with Andre Drummond for sure. Yeah. So do you have any other comments for the Lakers before we switch over to the next topic?
I think he's still okay. I think because the reason why they got him over Dwight is because of basketball IQ. He knows how to play. He knows how to play and when to play certain plays. So I think that's why they signed him. I still think he would be very still be valuable to the organization, but I think to a very minimal role. But you're right. I totally agree. They should have kept Dwight and JaVale. I mean, those guys, if they're valuable and they're still in good shape. And I see JaVale's workouts, I see Dwight's workout here. They're still good. Gasol, on the other hand, his physicality is a bit. He looks really old. You know what I mean? And so, but I guess they saw something in him that we didn't, so they signed him. So let's just go with it.
Yeah, definitely. Like you basically can't get 10 out of 10 things right. So yeah,
that's right.
As a team, you move on. So let's move over to the East, right? So we've posted on Instagram. If you're not following us, follow us. The Nets since the big trade for the dribbler, aka Harden, they've been hot and cold. I feel they're not getting enough games together. Like I don't know why Kyrie's always injured. KD is injured all the way to the All-Star game now. He has a calf/Achilles injury. Hopefully it's not Achilles, but they're saying a calf. No one likes to say Achilles except for AD. What are your thoughts? Like, I think when it initially happened, we talked about it and we're saying there's not enough balls. But seeing the results playing against all these teams, you can see that James Harden is assumed the point guard role. And it's weird because Kyrie says he's the point guard. But on the court, Kyrie shoots every time he gets the ball. When they're playing together, they had a couple more signings. It's positive because offensively they're so elite. So defensively they have to be just top 10. You think about championship teams. As long as you're in the top 10, you usually win the championship, right? They're the bottom of the ladder, but it just takes 1 or 2 stops for them, and they usually win. So, what are your thoughts on the Nets in terms of how they're meshing, and what your thoughts are there for them to win the championship?
It's still consistent with the memes that I put on our Instagram page. So I still think that these guys are not going to win it. I think they're just too injury driven, injury prone team. I mean, not really with Harden, but with KD and Kyrie.
Yeah.
They're great offensively. I don't take that away from them. I know we all know that, but there's both ends of the floor. So you take defense as well to win the game. So for me, defense wins championships, not offense. Anyone can have a great offensive squad, but you need to shut down the other team to win, and you need to be there. That's the number one point. They need to be there. If they're not there, and their bench is not deep, they're very shallow in their bench. So, for me, nah, I don't think so. I think, to be honest, the way they're going, if they meet Philly, Philly's gonna get them. Philly at the moment are doing great. Embiid has been playing out of his mind.
Yep.
Simmons has really done well. So it just shows you when the acquisition of Doc Rivers as their coach to coach those two main guys with Tobias Harris has worked really well for Philadelphia. And I think they'll come out of the East. I'm just going to say it. They're going to come out of the East. I'm sorry, but they're not going to beat the Nets are not going to beat them, because Philly, you can tell, has really conditioned themselves and positioned themselves to be in that winning position with a great coach. And I think Embiid now is not being an idiot, but I'm sure you've heard it too, but apparently Embiid now is on a diet. He's hired a chef, so he's really taking this really seriously now. And he's just ready to win. And you can tell by his game. I mean, look at him so far. He's done great. You know what I mean? I mean, Simmons has not really taken on the three yet, but still, he's played great. He's played great this season. And Philly's going to take out the East. So for me, I'm going to call it Toronto, LA Lakers versus the Philadelphia 76ers for the 2021 NBA Finals. I'm going to say it.
Cool. Yeah. I agree with you on that front too. Like, if you look at everything how it's running now, 76ers have done everything they can in terms of defense, offense. So yeah, let's just take away, I guess, from the Nets. So your views is they won't make it to the finals, and 76ers will get there. I totally agree with you. Yeah, definitely for sure.
Brooklyn needs to commit on both ends of the floor, and they need to be physically healthy. They need to be committed on defense and offense. I mean, we all know they have no problems with offense, but defense, they need to commit. They don't have that. They don't have that three, like, on a daily. They don't have it, so they're not going to make it. If they are going to make it, they'll probably just edge out, to be honest with you, to make the playoffs. But still, then what's going to happen to their bodies? I mean, it's a long season still. I mean, even the 10 games short, it's going to drive them physically tired, and can their bodies handle it? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But Philly, you can tell they're conditioned well, and I think they've hired the right coaches for their bodies to, learn how to land properly and how to take the grind to the playoffs. So I'm taking Philly for the East.
Yeah, with KD's body type, his slim body type, I'm surprised that his legs aren't stronger. Like, I'm doing a lot of leg training myself, and I'm finding I'm getting more definition. And like, I'm an amateur, and KD's a professional, so I don't know. I'm not sure what training he's doing for his rehab. And you should really, like, you look at LeBron's body. I know everyone's different, but you look at LeBron from being a high school kid to now. Like, he's built his body, so then he's minimizing any issues with his body. So he's built his body in off season, right? KD's, I guess, kept his speed, but you can keep your speed and then get muscle around your body. He's just so skinny. Like, he allows it to be mobile, but wouldn't you want a body that is more bulletproof and injury prone? Because he's shot, like his main thing, right? KD's main thing is his speed and his shooting. Like, no one can stop his shot. He's 7'1", right? 7'1". So if he protects himself, his legs, then he gives himself a chance. Like, you hit it on the head again, where if you got KD, Kyrie, those two guys, I don't know if they can make a 7-game series, because you play every second, third day. Like Harden, the guy that comes the last is the Iron Man. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Like,
but there's a flip side to it that we didn't cover as well. Like I understand, like, you can do all the training, and diet's very important. Like, how many times do I have to say this? This comes down to the episode that the documentary I watched, which is the Game Changers. It's very important. I mean, LeBron, you can tell, has really done that. He's hired his own chef. He invested $1 million in his body, so he knows how to land on his feet. He knows how to eat properly. And I think those two guys, I think they just, oh, we're good, man. We're just gonna ball. I don't see them taking to another level like LeBron does. I don't
take it
see
seriously.
I don't.
Yeah.
No, I think they just go, oh well, we can shoot, we're all right. But see, their bodies are not cooperating with them. They're breaking down, meaning there's something wrong, and that they're not doing something that they're supposed to be doing. So for me, that's number one. The second of all, I have to give it to them. It's their DNA too. I mean, you don't know. I mean, you can do as much as you can, but if your DNA isn't that great, and if you have a history with leg problems and ankle issues, there's really nothing you can do. You know what I mean, it's in your gene. But then again, we don't know. We have to sort of see between the two which one it is.
Yeah, so, because we can compare it, I guess, to AD, right? You see AD training, doing everything he possibly can, but he's just injury prone. Like there's nothing he can do. Like when you talk about DNA, it's pretty much in AD's DNA, right? Because the plan of the Lakers, but go back to the Lakers, the plan was AD's meant to carry the team and LeBron's meant to coast. Like when the episode of the barbershop where he's talking to Obama, and then he's like, give it to AD. AD's gonna carry you. But the things don't go to plan. But because LeBron has built himself, like it allows him to carry the team now. Like he like in a recent loss, they asked him, they go, oh, he's all the role players doing their job, and as a leader, he's going up in a couple of years. He's saying everyone's doing their job, but I'm not. I need to carry the team more. So true. A couple of years ago, like even like last year or the year before, when they asked him that question, he'll be like, okay, we need this, we need a point guard, we need this, Like he's changed I think he's just grown his age. And he's taking the accountability more, right? Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. So 76ers and Lakers. Cool.
Has to be.
No, it's just we've got a bit more time. Let's talk about the Heat. Jimmy's just come back from a long stint for the COVID protocol, and I think they're getting back on track. I'm not sure where they'll end up. Probably the 4th seed, I think. What are your thoughts on the Heat?
I think they're the dark horse. I can never write them off if you've got Jimmy Butler in the team. And I think in the East, it'll come down to Philadelphia and Philly fighting up for the East. And to me, that's going to be a good game if everyone is healthy in Miami, because you've got a lot of shooters in Miami that can fire. Philadelphia has a good mix of inside and out, but it's just hard to balance between the two because they're coached well and they're both managed really well. You've got Doc Rivers as a coach for Philly, which you can see the record has been great. Eric Spoelstra has coached them really well. You can do it last year too. I mean, and you got Pat Riley with Miami. I mean, championship pedigree. He knows what to do. So it's just hard to pick of which one the two. But I think Miami is going to be the dark horse. Everyone's going to write them off because of what they're doing so far and because Jimmy's just returned. But I want to write them off. Miami's a proven winner. So keep an eye on them.
Cool. And we got, I like Miami, but again, like I wouldn't put him in my, I'll put him in my top 4, but not top 2, right? It's just that they haven't improved and they lost Crowder. I think Crowder allowed them to play like a certain way because they like from the power forward position, they're not getting the production out from that position as they were last year, right? Because Crowder was like more of a stretch 4, and now they have they're stretch 4s, but if their stretch 4s don't hit their 3-pointers, they don't really do anything else, and they don't rebound well. So I guess that's with Miami. Let's even it up with the West, right? So Utah. Your thoughts on Utah? I feel they're playing out of the skin, but I feel that this is just a season run. We're actually not. I'm not excited. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, you guys can do this. Hit a lot of 3-pointers, right? And I feel like they're probably picking too early. And they're riding off the success. I see them play. They're not doing anything, I guess. But sure, they beat the Lakers because the Lakers were they were depleted injuries.
Short-handed.
Right? Yeah, short-handed, 100%. Like no one likes to mention that. Everyone just like, oh, yeah, Utah's on his run, and I guess that's the narrative, right? They want to promote someone else, So. Yep. So I think Utah still to me probably like third, fourth team. Like the Clippers are playing well. They're staying under the radar. Probably the first time this year. Like compared to
They
last
should
year.
keep it under the radar.
That's it. They should
They
just
are.
play. They just should play and just let the game.
Just
do
shut
the
up and
talking.
play, man.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. And,
I think you're right. You're right. Utah is actually picking too early, and I think they're the Milwaukee of last year. They were doing so well. They did this, and when it comes to the playoffs, first round, elimination. I mean, come on. Let's not talk about how great you are during the season. Let's talk how great you are in the playoffs. So, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, they can carry it on because playoffs is a whole different ball game. They already know they've been there, so hopefully they can change their mindset and position themselves to to play great in the playoffs. Because I do want to see Utah in the playoffs because they're a great team.
Cool. All right, man. Thanks for the chat today, man. I hope everyone enjoyed our chat. Yeah, we'll definitely try to do this more often. Next chat, the next couple of things we've got planned is we're going to talk about game changes. So we're branching out, just not about basketball. And then we're going to talk about All-Star selection, what we're looking forward to the second half of the season, and of course our team, the Lakers. We're going to talk about. I'm pretty sure we're going to get some. We're basically going to sign some players, probably drop some players. So stay tuned, subscribe, stay in touch with us, and we out. RJ.
See you guys. Have a good night.